Ladies and gentlemen, with this particular story brings about an interesting dynamic because you have a lot of people out there who feel like they know me and they feel like they know what type of content is on my channel and feel like I'm the type of person that only does stories about black folks and I hate my race and all of that stuff. But a lot of people who really truly care about this channel know that I advocate for children first. That's what the AFC stands for. Know that we admonish all bad parents and caretakers, no matter what race they are. We've done them all. So we're going to present an Asian story about this Asian Chinese woman or whatever she is. I don't really care. She's a bad, horrible individual. I don't really care what her mental state was. But before I go on continuing to say inflammatory things, this story is going to have some details that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities as well as my personal opinion. So that is your disclaimer if you need to exit the video. But we haven't done a lot of stories out of Pennsylvania, but this is another one. The woman that you guys saw on my screen, let me see if I can back it up like a U-Haul truck real quick. This decrepit looking individual that you guys see on my screen is 38 years old. Her name is Trinh Nguyen. 38-year-old Pennsylvania woman, and she is accused of shooting her 13-year-old and 9-year-old sons. Two boys. Or Vietnamese, whatever. I don't know what she is. I don't really care. Alright? Now, she is accused of shooting her boys, her sons. The children that she would do anything for. She's accused of shooting and killing them as they slept. They were in the bed. How cowardice is that? Shot them while they slept. And this is before trying to kill a neighbor early Monday morning in what is currently being investigated as an attempted triple homicide and a failed suicide attempt. It's funny how we always get these suicide attempt stories when they fail to take themselves out, right? Isn't that funny how that works? They got all the strength in the world, all the energy in the world to take it out on everybody else, but can't have that same energy when they're trying to commit suicide. It's kind of funny how that works. Early Tuesday morning, and I'm getting this article from lawandcrime.com, so thank you for the article. We get a lot of articles there. Early Tuesday, reports out of Bucks County say, however, that 2 children are currently on life support. They're going to be donating their organs because these children are expected to not survive, and that's really sad. Trinh T. Nguyen, the fool, the dummy that y'all see on my screen, appeared to be dazed and spitting up when she was taken into custody. I think we got a little bit of that video. I definitely want to show y'all this WWF SmackDown takedown when they snatched this woman out the car. I thought it was amazing, and shout out to the police for slamming that woman down on the ground face first. I thought it was awesome. If y'all want to see that video, let me know. Bucks County District Attorney Matt Weintraub said that she was under the influence of drugs. Not that I even give a crap. Authorities say that they responded to the scene on Timber Ridge Road in Newton, Pennsylvania after 7:05 a.m. when Nguyen's 22-year-old neighbor, Gianni Melchiando, reported that she had tried to kill him. Why, though? She tried to kill the neighbor. The complaint described Melchiando's wrapping Nguyen in a bear hug and grabbed a black revolver as she had pointed it at his face. Nguyen allegedly pulled the trigger 2 times, but the gun did not fire. Wow. Shockingly, the neighbor said that Nguyen had asked him to give her ex-husband a box of photos. A box of photos, whatever that means. Melchiando realized that the suspect was pointing a gun at his head when he turned around, the complaint said. The neighbor also has said he worked with Nguyen's ex-husband. Once disarmed, Nguyen allegedly fled the scene in a minivan and towards New Jersey. She was arrested before noon. At approximately 11:30 a.m., law enforcement located her at the United Methodist Church in Washington's Crossings, the DA office said. She was taken into St. Mary's Medical Center due to the indication that she was under the influence. Police found the two boys inside the residence, and let me show y'all this house. Because I don't know what these boys' fathers did for a living or what she did for a living. But I saw that. No, that's not even the picture. This is one of the pictures. Look at how big this house is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like a 9 or 10 bedroom house. Let me see if I can show a different a different angle. Look at how big this place is. Even if she was just staying in one section of it or whatever it is, it's still a really big, extravagant place. It's massive. Thank you. The reason why I'm talking about how big the house is, how nice the house is for this. She was actually having issues paying rent to live here. You know what I would say to that? No shit, Sherlock. A mother with 2 kids. I don't know if she had a husband here or not. That place is too big for most people to be able to afford. So whomever owned this house was subletting this house to her for a monthly rent payment. And she got behind on rent. Oh, you say y'all want to see the takedown? Okay, I got you. Give me just a moment. I got you. Police found the 2 boys inside that residence with gunshot wounds to their heads. And they actually survived it. They just didn't. They're not going to survive now, but they actually initially survived it. Nguyen was denied bail and faces 3 counts of attempted homicide and 1 count of possession of an instrument of crime. Now, once those boys actually are officially declared deceased, she's going to get 2 murder charges, I'm pretty sure. The DA reportedly said authorities have strong leads on a motive. The Bucks County Courier-Times reported that Nguyen was facing eviction. Why would you kill your... That's a reason to kill your kids? That doesn't make any sense. The news has devastated the local community and the Council Rock School District. The acting superintendent of schools, Susan Elliott, said in a message on Facebook to the community that she was deeply saddened to send this communication to you in light of the well-publicized tragedy involving 2 Council Rock students. A tragic... Well, I can skip that part because y'all will hear it in the news videos. So let me skip some of that. Let me go ahead and get to the news videos. Here we go. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, got a couple news videos here. If you guys would do me a favor and please click that thumbs up. We need 1 thumb up for everybody that's watching. So if you would do that for me, that would be awesome. So some of these videos I'm going to try to skim through so I can get to that WWF takedown of getting her out that car. Here we go.
New at 11, tears filled a local church tonight as children prayed for answers and healing. They're friends of 2 young boys shot in their Bucks County home. Police say the boy's mother pulled the trigger. NBC 10's Brian Sheen is joining us live from outside the church where people gathered tonight. Brian, you could see the emotion on their faces. What did they tell you?
Jim, you could certainly see that emotion. Tonight's vigil was extremely emotional for many, but especially those young kids who are friends with those 2 brothers, just ages 9 and 13 years old. Their parents tell us they are having a very difficult time processing this whole thing. While many shed tears or embraced, Others found a shoulder to lean on.
Our hearts are broken. Our lives are shattered.
Tonight, some members of this Upper Makefield community united as one to pray for two boys, ages 9 and 13, who were shot in their home early yesterday morning. The Bucks County DA says their mother, 38-year-old Trin Nguyen, is the person responsible.
This does not happen. This does not happen. So it's just unthinkable. It's unfathomable.
April Franlin and Meg Smith's boys are friends with the elder son. The moms describe both victims as joyous and funny kids. Smith says her son was just at the home on Timber Ridge Road Friday for a sleepover.
I just talked to the family on Saturday. I mean, the mom is my friend, and it was bad situation she was dealing with, and we all didn't know it was that bad.
Police have not said whether there was prior contact with Nguyen or her family, but NBC 10 obtained these documents. Her ex-sister-in-law is the owner of the home where she lived. Records showed Nguyen owed $11,000 in back rent, and late last year was ordered to be evicted from the property today.
She was a kind person to our kids. My son felt like she was the nicest.
Well, the people here at the Washington Crossing United Methodist Church were instrumental in the apprehension of that 38-year-old woman, and they also say tonight they're going to be opening their doors to allow space for this community to come together and try and heal.
I came walking down to the church down that end, and I noticed a white van running over here, which was very odd.
The parking lot of the Crossings Methodist Church is often a place for drivers to stop, make phone calls, or search for directions. So at first, Mary Ann wasn't too concerned until her son, a police officer, called her from Virginia around 10:30 yesterday morning.
And he still follows the Upper Mayfield Police Facebook page. He saw what happened, and he texted me to say, lockups. This is armed and dangerous, they're saying. So I called Tom up. And I said, Tom, can you please look to see if that white van is still there?
And I noticed the van out there with the lights on, at least at 8:30. Mary Ann calls me, hey, my son says you better do something about that van. So I called directly to the police department. I says, I know you're busy, but I have a white van up here. Somebody in it. I don't know what's going on.
Are y'all ready for this? Here we go.
Response was quick.
Once I saw rifles coming out, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they all had their shields. And then they were just running from all directions.
And made a quick arrest of Trin Nguyen. Police have not said if there was prior
directions.
And made a quick arrest of Trin Nguyen.
Somebody in it. I don't.
Let me see if I can show y'all that one more time.
The response was quick.
Once I saw rifles coming out, I'm like, oh my gosh. And then they all had their shields. And then they were just running from all directions.
And made a quick arrest of Trin Nguyen. Police have not said if there was prior contact with Nguyen or her family, but we did find these documents. Her ex-sister-in-law is the owner of the Newtown home where she lived. Records show Nguyen owed $11,000 in back rent, and late last year was ordered to be evicted from the property come May 3rd. That's today.
God bless her. I pray for her because she's going to have to live with that the rest of her life.
Right now at 6, a mother under arrest after police say she shot her two children while they were still in their beds. And NBC 10 was there as police took her into custody. We appreciate you joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Jim Rosenfield.
I'm Jacqueline London. It followed an intense search for her this morning. All of this unfolded in Upper Makefield Township, Bucks County. Sky First 10 live above that scene. You can see people are still going in and out of the home. NBC 10's Deanna Durante is joining us live in Doylestown. Deanna, the details of this case are just heartbreaking.
The 38-year-old woman we have just learned has appeared before a Bucks County judge.
I wish somebody would have stood on top of that van and did like a flying elbow and just landed right on top of her. That would have been awesome.
Her bail denied tonight. She is charged with 3 counts of attempted murder. Investigators say that they had hopes for a miracle here, but they have learned that the children are gravely injured.
Show your hands! Show your hands! Show your hands!
11:33 this morning, still in what appears to be pajamas, 38-year-old Trin Nguyen is arrested.
Right there, while they holding her down, somebody should have said, hold on, guys, hold on. And walked on top of that van and did like, boom! Right in the middle of her back. I would have loved to have seen that.
It was 4.5 hours earlier. Police say they were called to this home in Newtown.
A report of an armed subject.
Nguyen's 22-year-old neighbor says she asked a favor of him, then pointed a gun at him and tried to fire.
Nguyen then pulled the trigger 2 times, but by the grace of God, the gun did not fire. Melchiondo engaged Nguyen, wrapped her in a bear hug, and eventually was able to disarm her. She then immediately fled the area in a white Toyota Sienna minivan.
Lower Mayfield Township.
Police issued an alert for Nguyen and her van. At the time police arrived, they didn't know Nguyen had 2 kids, boys, 9 and 13.
Upon entry, both boys were found still alive, but in their beds with gunshot wounds to their heads.
Police rushed the children to the hospital.
I need to stop laughing during this video because this is a really sad situation. But I'm really sitting there trying to envision that, like they arrest her, they put her on the ground, they're like, all right, we're ready. Here we go. Boom! Oh man, that would be awesome. Or take it. Somebody said DDT. take her and hold her up. Bam! Right off the side of that van. That would be awesome.
Here, police in Bucks County are still searching for answers.
Hell, I'd buy a ticket to see that.
Into a terrible crime today. A mother who shot her 2 young sons as they lay sleeping in their beds. Authorities say the woman who is in custody tried to kill others as well, including herself. Tonight, the 38-year-old Newtown woman is expected to be charged with murder and attempted murder as the Bucks County community tries to understand what happened and why. A vigil was held this evening for the young victims, ages 9 and 13. Action News reporter Annie McCormick is live in Newtown with more on the tragedy. Annie.
And Rick, memorials still remain outside here of Newtown Middle School, where a vigil was held earlier tonight. Now, both of those young boys were taken to the hospital still alive, but this afternoon, District Attorney Matt Weintraub said that they are not expected to survive, and their families made the difficult decisions to donate their organs.
That's really sad, man. I mean, it would have been nice if they would have survived. That would have been an amazing story if they would have been able to survive. But, you know, rarely will anybody survive from a freaking gunshot wound to the head. Let me go ahead and skip to this last video. Let me show y'all this one more time. And I want y'all to imagine if somebody was standing on the top of that white van, ready to go. Flying elbow right off the top.
Hands, show your hands! Show your hands! Show your hands! Show your hands!
That'd be the moment right there. Like, we got it ready.
Hands, show your hands! Show your hands! Show your hands!
That woman literally looks like she weighs all of 62 pounds. Look at that. She's probably a good 4'3.5". 63 pounds. That doesn't even measure how evil this woman is in her heart. Just a horrible individual. She definitely needs life in prison. And I don't care what she was going through. That's not mental illness. That's not anything. That is just an evil ass, sorry ass mother. That's a horrible parent, horrible individual. And I think she needs life in prison. She should never see the light of day. Those boys did not deserve that. And I think I had their picture. And let me show y'all this real quick. I think I have a picture of the boys. So for those who might not get a chance to see their picture, I did want to make sure and put some respect on that. That's probably the most current picture of those boys. They have an older picture when they were little. Oh, actually, you know what? I have another one. I actually do have another one. So that's one picture of the boys right there. Beautiful kids. Beautiful kids. And that one's probably a recent picture as well. Beautiful kids. There was absolutely nothing they did to deserve what they got. This woman shot them in their sleep. That's about as cowardice as it gets and as senseless as it gets. To those two souls, young princes, rest in peace. R.I.P. It's just really sad. And like I say, as far as what drove her to that point, to me, it doesn't even matter. These children's lives are what matter. Like I said, she could have dealt with whatever she needed to deal with, whether it be with the dad or whether it be with whatever. But there are too many programs out there that will help women that have issues, that have kids, that need financial help or whatever the case is, to be able to bail them out of situations. Men don't necessarily have a lot of those same easy access options. So I say that just to say that it should never come to this. There's no reason to. There's zero excuses for it to ever come to this. So we hope we get justice for those boys and that mom, Trin Nguyen, life in prison. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Leave your comments there, okay? Thank you.